Are there advantages of being an immigrant entrepreneur in Canada? Well, in this channel, we discuss topics along these lines. Click the subscribe button if you want to learn more, set the alert if you want to be notified when we upload a new video. And of course, if you find the content of this video here useful, let us know by clicking the like button. Let's look at it, what we're talking about advantages of being an immigrant entrepreneur in Canada. Very specific topic. So yes, there are a number of challenges of being an immigrant entrepreneur, especially if you're coming from an emerging country. There are some very unique advantages of being an immigrant business person in Canada. Let's look at some of them. Number one, Canadians are used to accents. And for people who immigrated or who move or who do business from their base in emerging countries, these people may find and feel sometimes that in many places, like, I don't know, the United States, even anywhere in Europe, when you speak with an accent, you find like the receptiveness of your counterparty is not that great. Because it's like, well, this is what happens in Canada. It's a bilingual society, a bilingual country for a very long time, right? I'm not a history teacher here. I'm not gonna go over how Canada was formed as a country. You can find that, you can Google that. But the important thing to know is that in Canada, we have a society where people are used to seeing successful people and leaders that speak with an accent, right? In Ontario, you are used to seeing successful people that are from Quebec. And in Quebec, you're used to successful people that are from other parts of the country, same anywhere across the country. So we have this bilingual society, meaning that somebody speaking with an accent doesn't mean what they are providing in terms of products or services is of lower quality, or they have lower IQ, they speak funny, they speak with an accent. There's none of that in Canada. People are very aware and used to having leaders. We have prime ministers that speak with accent, either in French or in English, doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, accent in Canada does not downgrade the vision that people have of you, your products, or your services. That's a very important distinction from most of other countries, actually. In Canada, actually, I heard something that, as an immigrant myself, I'm sure I have an accent, right, in English. I heard something that was very touching in my early days in Canada, which was, an accent is a badge of courage. Who said that to me was a Canadian-born person that had the 4 grandparents born in Canada, which is a rare thing because of so many immigrants we have here. But you see this vision that if you left a country where you knew how everything worked, where people understood you well, you had your connections in your society and all that, and came to a place where everything is new to you, including the language, that shows that you're a brave person, right? So that's what somebody told me, like in Canada, an accent is a badge of courage. So this whole thing about accent, people tend to feel very insecure. Oh, but I speak with an accent, I'll be able to conduct commercial meetings, negotiations. Yes, Canadians will be very patient and willing to make an effort to understand what you're saying. Well, number 2, another advantage of being an immigrant entrepreneur in Canada. Canadians compare everything to the United States. Remember, most of the population of Canada lives along 150 kilometers from the American border. We listen to American music, we watch American TV or cable and whatnot, right? So it's a very clear presence for us, the United States, as a culture and as a large, strong economy. So what that causes in the mindset of business people in Canada is that Canadians perceive our market in Canada as being small. It may not be small at all compared to other places in the world, but compared to this giant next door, which is the United States, we tend to think our market is small. And that causes a very interesting situation for you if you are from an emerging country, especially if you are from a place that has a large population. Canada has 40 million people, 40, right? So if you are from a place that has that order of magnitude of people or more, Canadians will look at you and say, wow, you come from a really large place, a really big market. The Canadians, because we compare ourselves to the United States a lot, we consider our market as being small, and that increases our interest to listen to people that come from larger markets. because we may be looking for an opportunity. And, well, this person's coming, they're an experienced business person in their country of origin. Sure, let me listen to them. Probably they have something valid to say, and maybe I can sell some of my stuff in their market. I don't know, right? So the fact that Canadians compared to the United States, as a consequence, think the Canadian market is smaller, don't think accent is a problem, that makes it a very easier environment than you would think to do business with Canadians. Point number 3, Canada has great infrastructure. I'm not only talking about roads, airports, and bridges. I'm talking general business infrastructure, right? It's like technology, it's a legal framework, rules and regulations that in most part make sense and are simple to understand. Great infrastructure. And also Canadians have a very structured approach to things. Everything has a checklist. Everything has a to-do list. Everything has stages, right? Very structured. Very different from emerging markets. I know that. I was born and raised in an emerging market, and I moved to Canada already in my early adult years. But here's the thing where this becomes an opportunity for people who were born outside Canada but want to do business here. The scenario in Canada is not a low-cost scenario. Yes, indeed, it's very structured, but it costs money. Everything in Canada, nothing is very cheap, right? You have to invest, you have to pay, especially if you're hiring people. It's not a low-cost solution place, Canada. It isn't, right? And look what happens in countries, in emerging countries, where you don't necessarily have the infrastructure. Things don't happen that easily. Rules and regulations are not clear. People need to be very creative, right? People cannot rely on a well-structured step-by-step process to pursue any interest they have. They have to just read the tea leaves and improvise and pursue whatever effort they want to pursue. So the lack of infrastructure in your home country means very likely that you are more creative naturally, because you had to be, just to do things with a lack of infrastructure. So this emerging country creativity that you bring with you, combined with the existing great Canadian infrastructure, that equals a very powerful position for global solutions, because you come with a creativity and you combine that with a very good structure to get things done. So the mixing of what you bring from the country of origin with what you find in Canada, that can create very powerful global solutions for your company. And remember, Canada is a great place to do business all over the world from Canada, in addition to doing business in Canada, in the United States. But really, Canada has a lot of trade agreements and all that. In summary here, it is good to be a foreign-born business person in Canada. So how do you leverage that? Well, we help companies of different sizes at different stages. We have this program called Your Business in Canada. There's a link here in the description. Click there, contact us, and let's talk about it, okay? Have a good one.